dicho antes, la mayor crisis de nuestras vidas. Y por tanto nos estamos jugando la fortaleza o el debilitamiento de la Unión Europea. Nosotros vamos a ser siempre constructivos, firmes, determinados en nuestras medidas, en nuestras propuestas, pero vamos a ser firmes y constructivos. Y ya adelanto, España no va a renunciar a los eurobonos, no va a renunciar a los eurobonos, porque esta deuda, esta crisis económica y su impacto en nuestras cuentas públicas tiene que ser comunitarizada, porque está afectando al conjunto de la Unión Europea. Por tanto, España no va a renunciar a los eurobonos. Ahora bien, somos también un país pragmático y somos un país que sabe que podemos encontrar fórmulas que avancen hacia esa mayor federalización e integración que, lógicamente, el gobierno de España siempre ha defendido y yo, lógicamente, a lo largo de mi carrera política, ¿no? Desde luego, el que podamos alumbrar un fondo de desempleo europeo complementario a la prestación por desempleo que nosotros tenemos en nuestros países y que hemos defendido desde un gobierno progresista como el español, pues sin duda alguna será un éxito. El que podamos volcar todos los recursos de los fondos estructurales sin condicionalidad en aquellos países que teníamos asignados esos fondos estructurales, pues será también una gran noticia. El que podamos establecer líneas precautorias en el mecanismo de estabilidad económica sin ningún tipo de condicionalidad será también una extraordinaria medida, pero que nadie se equivoque. El gobierno de España va a trabajar, va a defender y nunca va a renunciar a los eurobonos, porque eso es solidaridad, eso es Europa. Y desde luego la determinación del gobierno de España en esto es total y absoluta.
Gracias, presidente del gobierno, gracias a todos los participantes.
Gracias.
I know I'm late, but I'm coming. Right, let me see if I can get this all set up very, very quickly. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to quickly set up my daughter's nursery, as I normally do every single day. And let's try and get into this as soon as possible. Yes, I know I was late. I was getting messages as I was finishing watching the president's speech. Let me plug you into the tripod there. There we go. 1 second. Oh, and I'm back. How are you, lovely, lovely people? Of course, there was the president or the prime minister of Spain has made his speech, and yes, the extension will be going ahead, or it's been put forward to the 26th of April. However, just like last time, it still needs to be approved by Congress, okay? So the biggest update of today, yes, the extension has been put forth, but it still needs to be accepted by Congress. But most likely, if it's the same as last time, it will go ahead. And yes, I think we'll be seeing the extension going on until at least the 26th of April. All right. Let's jump into this then. So, welcome to everyone who has just tuned in. At the start, I know I've been a bit late, but obviously there's good reason behind it, especially. So, welcome to the coronavirus update video 20.0. This is 20 videos that we've been doing every single day of this lockdown. So unbelievable that you guys have stuck with me for so long. We've reached over 3,200 likes on this page, over 5,000, almost 6,000 followers on here. So thank you for everyone who has been watching. And thank you for all your comments and help with this as well. It keeps me motivated, especially. Okay, so let's just jump into the latest news and we will talk about the extension in full. I've been taking notes of everything that has been going on with the speech as it has been going out live. At the start of this video, of course, I showed you what the president was saying. He was on the last question and I kind of wanted to get all the information before I get it out to you guys, because what I don't want is to miss any information, share the wrong information, and you guys have misleading information. Okay, so what he has put forth, the first bit is we have been very, very successful in Spain. We have now reached what he thinks is the start of the peak. He's very, very happy that the results and what they've been showing, especially, that they are actually coming forth with a positive effect now. So everything that we have been doing has been working, and he kept saying this, that it is working. What we are doing is working. So, you know, hopefully this is the start of the peak. So, as we like to do at the start of every single episode, I like to just run through the numbers. So as of today, there have been 124,736 people infected in Spain. That is 7,000 over the last 24 hours, but that is of course down. Over the last 2 days, it has been reduced by about 400 each day. So if this keeps going like this, we could be seeing the start of the peak. Fantastic if this is the case. As for the deaths in Spain, we have had 11,744 deaths. That is 809 over the last 24 hours. But again, these results are now going down. They're going down about 50 or so each day. So at the moment, we are seeing the decline, which is amazing. But of course, the president and the staff that he's got working with the health officials here, they of course want to have more information. They don't want to just assume that this is good and then everyone's happy. He wants to get the exact information in and make sure that we are on the decline. So the recovery, the people who have been cured and released from hospital, etc. As of today, that is 34,219 people who have recovered. That is 3,706 people in the last 24 hours, which is unbelievable, because what we can see there is again a nice even number there of the people who are recovering. So it's great to see this. You know, from yesterday there's only 70 difference there, so it's really good to see these numbers especially. Okay, so as all of you are watching here, yes, the extension has been put forth, but we'll jump into some other news first of all. As the president was speaking, he is assured that he has reassured everyone that we are on good lines at the moment. We are going forth with strength. He's had the hospitals have been basically producing out the information of the ICU units, and there are less patients in the ICU units than ever before. So at the moment, or not ever before, but at least over the last couple of days, but this is fantastic news. So the ICU units, they're being less used now, which is amazing. So the cases that are coming up, maybe they are milder cases than people having to go into the ICU units. But if this is the case, that means the hospitals are now managing. They're managing to get under control. They're managing to control the virus and the infection of it, and they're not having to make any slip-ups and infect themselves especially. So if this is all going ahead as it is, then we'll start seeing again declines of the ICU units, and as well as more recoveries taking place as well. Also in the news as well, this was before the president actually came on, there was a bit of information coming out about Turkey stealing materials from Spain. Now, my baby was crying, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to get the full details, but it was, in the airports or the landing, the airports, they were sticking on Turkey stickers on the boxes that have been shipped to Spain. So I don't know if there was a bit of miscommunication there, but if you see this on the news, send me some articles, because I would love to do a bit of research on this especially. And China is now getting back to normal. The lockdown has been lifted. They're getting back to normal, and schools are now starting to open up gradually, not all at once, but they are getting back to normal, which is great news. And that's basically, they're coming back to a life now where majority of the people now, they have to wear a mask when they're going out. And this is actually something that the president did touch on today. He has basically said that the majority of people, when this does actually start coming out a bit more, you will have to wear a mask whilst going out. So we'll dive into that again right towards the end, because there was questions about masks, what effects do they have, how can we receive masks and stuff like this. So that's at the end of this, but we'll jump into the president's speech and I'll give you the full rundown on what he has said and different highlights basically, okay? So it was an emotional speech, of course, by the Prime Minister, by the President of Spain. He has put forth that we are extending to the 26th of April, and he is assured everyone that self-isolation right now is working, okay? Self-isolation is working. We can see by the numbers that this is now starting to get to a gradual halt, so fantastic news. Of course, it still has to be passed by Congress. I kept saying this earlier, but this has to be passed by Congress before, but most likely it will be passed by Congress, just like what happened last time when it was extended. It has to be approved by Congress, but with everyone agreeing at the moment that this should be put into place, it will be another 15 days added on to the 12th of April, or the 11th of April, midnight 12th. So this is going to be the case. We're going to be going on until the 26th, I predict. The 26th of April, it's a shame because my wife's birthday is on the 23rd. I'll make sure I do a lovely video for her especially. But we have to put the sacrifice, and this is actually something that the president did put in to his speech. We have had to sacrifice a lot. You know, he is asking for the whole country to sacrifice a lot. But what he has seen is victory, basically. He has seen the start of a victorious event happening. Now, this is something that is a pandemic that we probably have never seen in my life, especially. I've never seen anything like this, and for a lot of people as well, they might not have seen anything like this before. But what he kept saying was the sacrifice that you guys have made, and everyone who is staying at home, or the people who are doing their jobs because it is essential work, they're all sacrificing their current life situation to make sure that the whole community and the whole nation is into a safe place in the future, which I think is brilliant. So the rules, as stated by today, the rules will still be in place. The strict rules that we've got at the moment, only essential workers only going out, one person per car, taking your dog out in a close perimeter of your property. These rules will still be in place until at least the 12th of April. So we've got another 9 days of these strict rules. He then said he will have a look at the rules and the numbers especially. He will have to speak with government officials that are helping him with these numbers, scientists in the Valencia University who did a lot of this, and all the other universities as well. He'll be basically asking everyone what is the opinion of the rules that are in place at the moment, and will they be able to go back to the previous rules that we had. Now, the previous rules were pool cleaners able to work, construction workers able to work, basically not non-essential, but taking very, very big precautions going out to work, wearing face masks whilst you're on the job, architects being able to go to their offices, things like this. So if this is the case and we still see a decline over the next couple of days, I think on the 12th of April an announcement will probably be out of a proposal. It won't be an announcement on the day, I don't think. I think it will be a proposal. Again, it will have to be taken to Congress, and I think it will go back to what it was before. And hopefully, if that's the case, then many, many millions of people will be able to go back to work because they work in offices, in confinement. So this could actually help the nation of Spain as we come out of this whole lockdown, especially. Okay, he also said that him and other political parties are working together to reactivate the economy. Now, after all of this has happened, after all of the lockdown, the economy will be in a fragile state. Obviously, we all know that. You know, it's just common sense that the people who haven't been working, millions and millions of people who have not been working, the economy will be in a very, very fragile state. However, they are working together to reactivate this economy. They're working together with other parties to find the best sources and the best ways to get the economy back to where it was in such a short time. So hopefully, if they've got plans that they're already starting to think about for when we come out of the lockdown, I hope and I pray that the economy will go back to the way it was before the summer, especially. That would be amazing, but of course it's asking for a long one. We're lots of people who are now unemployed or self-employed who are no longer working and receiving an income. I'm just hoping and fingers crossed that we will get back to it, and we try to stick all together with this and help each other out as much as we can as well. Now, he also said that Europe will be helping with this. He has spoken, of course, with the European Union, and he has stated that we have to come together as one and united all as one with the European Union. We are part of the European Union. We have other countries that are going to be going through the same as us or similar to us, Italy especially. And this is where he he said that the European Union will have to come together, and we will have to unite to make sure that we are all in this together and we are all victorious after all of this has come out. So again, he's very, very emotional speaker, and whilst watching it, you do get a bit choked up because you think this is on a grand scale. This is so much bigger than just us staying at home. This is so much bigger. He also said that he is proud of every single person, every single citizen, every single resident who is in Spain, and every single person who is a part of this country and helping this country. Because what we are doing right now, whether we are staying at home or helping with the economy, helping with working as a essential worker, he is so proud of every single one who has been helping and working towards a brighter future, obviously. And then he said, we are all against the same enemy. This is why we should be united here. We are all against the same enemy, which is the coronavirus. We are all against it, and we can't. We have to make the right history, okay? We can't go back. We can't reverse and make something that could be a lot worse for our future than what we should be, or what we could have in the future, basically. So we have to rewrite this history and make sure that it is something that we are proud of, saying we did this because we saved thousands and thousands of lives. God, I've got so many notes I've got to go through. Yeah. So, again, I just wrote all these notes in such a rush, and I just lose my train of thought. And I'm reading some of the notes that I've put down, and it's just gets so confusing. So I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so with the sacrifice that we are making, we have to write the history that we are proud of, and we have to fight. We all have different opinions. We all have different political views. But when we have to come together, we need to come together. We have a different attitude, and it can help save thousands of people if all of us have that attitude to help one another and to stay inside and to not go out and spread this virus even more. We are all in one of the biggest crises of our lives, and we can't go back right now. We can't take another step backwards. We can't take 2 steps back. We have to keep going forwards with this, and we have to make sure that what we are doing is working. One, which he has reassured us that it is working with the numbers and everything. It is working, so that's a good point there. And he's also said that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is ill. Whether it is someone who is elderly, someone who, again, you've heard stories of pensioners being taken off machines or anything like that. Again, some of the fake news that has been going around. It doesn't matter who you are in this country, whether you're a resident, whether you're visiting as a tourist, whether you are a current citizen of Spain. It doesn't matter who you are. You will always have help, and you will always have treatment, okay? Of course, with treatment of the coronavirus, a lot of people have had messages saying we are not residents. Can we get treated in Spain? He has stated that everyone will be treated, okay? No one will be rejected or declined treatment in Spain. So I think that's really, really good. He's also said, right at the end, actually, we'll go into this part here. Right at the end of his speech, he had a couple of questions that were put forth by news and media companies, basically. And one of the journalists came forwards, and he was talking about the political parties that have been bashing him and saying what they've been doing wrong, blah, blah, blah. And what he stated is the political parties, they will always be against one another, no matter what. But he has to hope that these political parties will get over the hatred that they have for one another and try to surpass this by working together. He said that he has spoken with all the political parties, and he has spoken about how they can rebuild this country again after the lockdown is done. And he knows that by working together, we will be able to get back to a normal life. He's also stated that new measures for pandemics in the future are also being taken as well. So, of course, we were hit hard in Spain, the same as Italy, China, and the United States, the UK. Spain, we've been hit hard. Now, he has made sure that what has happened will never be a repeat again. He does not want this to be repeated. And why? Because there weren't enough ICU units in Spain. There weren't enough materials that they could have for the health services that were working. So he has basically reassured us that new measures are now going into place for future pandemics that could and may happen in the future. So whoever the president is in the future, they will have these resources that they will be able to continue to fight back any of these pandemics that have really struck the country. He has then gone on to masks. Now, as China have put forward, all the citizens going outside, they should be wearing masks, and this has basically become like a law. He has reiterated that Spain, at the moment, you do not have to wear a mask. It is not a legal requirement to wear a mask. However, he has stated that this should and probably will be a custom that we will have to get used to over the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. So he said when we are going out to supermarkets, to the pharmacies, hospital appointments, whatever, we will have to probably wear masks. Now, one of the journalists has stated, well, masks are very difficult to get hold of. Some pharmacies do not stock them. We are unable to get them from supermarkets, etc. He has stated that, yes, they were difficult at the start. Why? Because they had to go to the emergency services first, the essential workers who were out there risking their lives, not for the people who were staying at home and maybe going to a supermarket once a week. But he has, of course, the orders that have been coming in every single day, we see new orders coming in and flying into Spain and being received in Spain. So there are masks on their way. There are lots of different emergency products that are coming over, hand sanitizers, ICU, respiratory machines, masks. So all of these are arriving. They will be shared out and they will be put into a majority of the pharmacies. He has also stated that these will be in a controlled price. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago where funeral services and funeral companies were basically jacking up their prices of burials and cremations, and they were going 3 times as much, from 1,500 up to 5,000, 6,000 in price. This was then put as an illegal act, and it was banned a couple of days later after receiving the news of this, which is good. I think that is something sensible that the president put into place. But he's also said about these medical materials, the masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, these are going to be under a special price, okay? So they're going to be basically funded by the government, majority of them, and you will pay a lower fee, and as if you were, well, paying for medication that you have a prescription for. So if this is the case, fantastic. I think it's a good idea that he's done this, and it will stop people worrying about having masks and stuff like this. It will stop people worrying about, I can't afford masks, or buying bulk and stuff like this. So I think that is good. But he's also said that he of course, with the materials that have come to Spain, that won't be enough for everyone. It will be definitely enough for the emergency staff, but he went to factories yesterday, the factories that have been converted, like textile factories that were making clothes and shoes and stuff like this. These factories have now been converted into making masks, making gloves, making aprons for doctors and nurses. So he went to a couple of these factories yesterday, and he said, this is what he said, 5 days ago he wouldn't have been able to say that everyone would be able to receive a mask. After seeing the factories that were working yesterday, after seeing all of the materials that were being produced yesterday, he is now confident to say that everyone will be able to receive masks and help if they need it, which is really good to see, because that is Spanish factories. So we're not having to wait for imports or anything like this. We're going to have these different factories shipping all over the country. It's not just going to be in Madrid or Barcelona. It's going to be factories all around Spain that are producing these, and these will go to the local pharmacies and being shipped out to the local government. So that is great news. And I think that is basically summing up everything from the president's speech, or the prime minister's speech. Now, I know a lot of people, and I'm just going to quickly go on to this, a lot of people have been saying, well, we knew about the 26th of April, we knew that this was going to be, I messaged you with the 26th. Yes, I know that a lot of people were sending me articles about the extension going on until the 26th, about rumours and leaks, but I do not want to share information with you guys especially if it is not confirmed by a government official or a government page, okay? This is why it might take a little bit longer for you guys to receive the news, but I just want you guys to understand that when you do message me all of this information, I can't share this information straight away. I need to do research on it because I don't want to do you guys harm by sharing information that is not actually 100% true or confirmed. I will always state in these videos, if there is something that has been sent to me, I will always state this hasn't been confirmed, or it is not true, or it is not from official documents. So I will always say this, but I want you guys to understand as well that this is something that I personally want to do. It's just to make sure that we are all 100% sure about what is going forth and what is being put forth as well, okay? Right, and the last thing that we're going to talk about, and this was actually came to me as a surprise, a very, very big surprise. A lot of people have been asking about legals in Spain and what's going to be happening to their jobs, what's going to be happening to their companies, self-employment, rent, everything like this. Now, I actually have a message from a group of lawyers or a company that have asked me to join them in a webinar tomorrow at 6 p.m. Now, I'm going to be speaking to them after this video. I'm going to be speaking to them a little bit more, but it's the guys from Beiza and Herida Lawyers. Now, these guys came to me and they asked me, because of course the following that I've got, the information that I've researched, and they've asked me to join in with their webinar as a guest speaker. So I'm going to be I'm going to be finding out exactly what, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a solicitor, I'm just doing this out of the passion of helping you guys. So I'm going to get the information from them and what I'm actually going to be expected to say and speak about and stuff like this. But yeah, I think maybe it could be useful for the people who want some legal questions answered. I think this could actually be something really, really positive, that we can actually find out the answers together. So this is going to be your question of the day. Well, it's not really a question of the day. If you guys have any legal questions that you want answered, whether it's about your autonomo, your rent, any legal advice that you need over the next 3 days, over the next 3 weeks, put a comment down below. I'm going to be selecting some of these questions, obviously, because I'm going to be speaking with a bunch of lawyers, okay, and solicitors and gestores. So I want to get these answered. They will have all the laws and everything up to date. So hopefully if you guys have any questions, I will be writing questions myself as well. But if you guys have any questions that you want answered, write them in the comments, send me a private message on here, and I'll try and get them answered, because hey, this is going to be something that I think could help all of us, especially. I'll remind you again tomorrow, because of course tomorrow and every single day we always go live at 4 p.m. every single day. I know today was a little bit late, but we had to watch the end of the president's speech. Remember, 8 p.m. every single night, get out onto those balconies, give a round of applause for all the emergency staff that are doing us proud. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m, okay? Bye-bye, guys. See you soon.